Hello everyone and welcome to the online teaching session. Children, up till now we have completed the Mendel's law and his variations. Okay? Then we read the chapter genes and chromosome. In that I taught you the difference between genes and the chromosome. What are the similarities between the genes and the chromosome? And then we saw some different points in that also. Now, in the same chapter, that is in genes and chromosome, we have the next topic, that is sex-linked inheritance. So today we will begin with this topic, sex-linked inheritance. Now see, Mendel's law of inheritance indicate that reciprocal crosses give the same result. See, what I mean to say that reciprocal cross. Now see children, you know the meaning of reciprocal cross, I have taught you. Now just see what is this once again. Suppose if one time I am taking the male, clear, as some dominant character, or if I am writing it like this, AA, okay, suppose this AA is a male and BB is female. Then next time what we will do? We will take BB as a male and AA as female. This is called as the reciprocal cross when we interchange the sexes. Now see, what the Mendel had seen. Mendel saw that during the reciprocal cross, every time the result was same. For example, he took pea plant. This we know very well. In case of pea plant, suppose if we take the height of the plant, that is tall, and recessive of the tall will be dwarf. Suppose Mendel took male as a tall and female as a dwarf. Okay, then every time, in case of F1 generation, we will get the tall plant. Now, next term, what he had done? He took tall female and dwarf male. And once again he saw that in F1 generation everyone was tall. This is known as reciprocal cross, and Mendel concluded that during the reciprocal crosses every time the result will be same despite of the sex. There is no effect of any sex on these crosses. And even this was applicable in case of monoecious plant and hermaphrodite animals. Okay, but what happens in case of dioecious plants and animals? In case of dioecious plants and animals, the sex can be determined by some traits. Like if there are some changes, then changes can be seen in the sexes also. Okay, now see, we can get the two possibilities. Wait. Okay. We can get the two possibilities. What are the two possibilities? Characters which show difference. Character which show difference during reciprocal cross. Okay, and characters that do not show difference in reciprocal cross. Okay, now see, when we did the cross for dioecious plant or dioecious animal. Now the meaning of dioecious is once again when the sexes are present on the different individual. If we cross them together, then what can be the possibility? During the reciprocal cross, we can see some differences. Number one, and it may be possible that there is no difference. Okay, if there is no difference, then we can say that characters located on autosomes. Now you know the meaning of autosomes. And if the character shows the difference, then we can say that the characters are located on sex chromosome. Understood? Characters are located on sex chromosome. And children, this is called as sex-linked inheritance. If the characters which are present on the sex chromosome, if they are inherited from one generation to the another generation, then that is called as the sex-linked inheritance. Okay. Now, after this, there came many scientists who worked on this. But actually, the scientist named as Thomas Hunt Morgan, he did his experiment on the Drosophila. Now, the Drosophila is commonly called as the fruit fly, and its full name is Drosophila melanogaster. So, what the Morgan had done, Morgan did all his experiment on the Drosophila to find out what is the sex-linked inheritance and how this sex-linked inheritance transmitted from one generation to the other generation. Okay, so now we will start with the experiment of T.H. Morgan. Now see, T.H. Morgan, he did his experiments on fruit fly. Let me write. The scientist experiment on sex-linked inheritance. Okay, and this was done by T.H. Morgan, and he did his experiment on Drosophila. Okay, and the name of the Drosophila is Drosophila melanogaster, commonly called as fruit fly. Now, the question is, why Morgan had taken Drosophila only? Reason number one, he took Drosophila because Drosophila has 4 pairs of chromosomes. Okay, now we can draw the chromosomes in case of Drosophila. 1, suppose this is chromosome 2, 3 and 4. Okay, now see, this is chromosome 2, chromosome number 3, chromosome number 4, and this is female, this is male, and this is chromosome number 1. Okay, now this is taken as X and X, and this is taken as X and Y. Now in case of Drosophila, we have 4 pairs of chromosome. Out of that, this 3 is autosome and 4th one will be the sex chromosome. In case of sex chromosome, females are homo and males are hetero. Okay, that is, this is about the female, we can represent it by X and X, and this is male, we will represent it by this and this, that is by X and Y. And in case of Drosophila children, we will take the chromosome according to its chromosomal symbol. Instead of writing only X and Y, we will draw the symbol and then we will write down X and Y or whatever it is. Because we should not get confused, because in case of human beings also we generally used to take X and X and X and Y. So just to avoid confusion, we will draw the symbols for the male as well as the female chromosomes. Okay. Now, the next point, the life cycle of fruit fly was of 2 weeks only. Okay, within the 2 weeks we can see the life cycle of the fruit fly. That is, they grow as well as then they multiply and then they lead their life cycle. So these were the reasons that why Morgan had taken the fruit fly. Now see few more reasons of taking the fruit fly, and the reasons were the progenies were produced in large number. Point number 3, what we can write? Progenies were produced in large number. Okay. 4th point, they can bred easily. We can grow them easily. That is, we can grow them on fruit pulp. So, simply what the Morgan had done, he kept fruit pulp in his laboratory, and within the few hours he saw that several fruit flies were produced over there. So, very easily we can grow them on the fruit pulp. And next point, we can culture them in laboratories. So that was also one important point for the Morgan to test on the fruit fly. Very easily he can grow them, he can culture them in his laboratory by keeping some fruit pulp. Then one important point, sexes can be differentiated easily. Okay, sexes can be differentiated very easily. How? Females are large and males are small. Clear? So these were the points by which Morgan did his experiments on the fruit fly. And Morgan saw that the color of the eyes of all these fruit fly, he saw that all the fruit flies had red eye. Okay, what was the color of the eye? Color of the eye was red, but by mutant, okay, he saw that one white-eyed male. So this created curiosity in Morgan to work on the fruit fly. That is, he saw that all the fruit flies were red in color, but by mutation, one male was white-eyed. So he took the white-eyed male, he took the red-eyed female and crossed them together and then saw the sex-linked inheritance. Now we will do the cross that was done by the Morgan. Okay. Now see what he had done. He took okay, now before that, what we will do? We will represent the sexes by symbol as I told you. Now this is the symbol, okay, and this symbol is for the male, or in general we can see this as an X and this will be the Y. Okay, now this will be homo for the female. Okay, now this too is represented as the female. So we can represent female and we can represent male like this. Now see children, what is the difference between Mendel's test cross and Morgan's test? In case of Mendel's law, whatever was the dominant, we took them as a capital letter. Okay. And whatever was the recessive, we took the same with a recessive. What we can see, suppose we took the tall as a capital T and recessive of this was dwarf, and then we took with the same letter but in the small letters. Okay. So this was the Mendel's test cross. But in case of Morgan, what he did, he saw that normally most of the fruit flies were red in color, red color eyed. So he saw that the dominant was red, and by mutation there was one white color male. Okay, so in general case, according to the Mendel, what we can do, we can take red because it is the dominant trait. We can take RR as a dominant, okay, and white we can take as a small r. Understood? But Morgan was emphasizing on the white color. Clear? So what he did, he took the symbol W. Understood? He took the symbol W. Now, capital W is for red color because red is dominant, and every time we will represent the dominant trait with a capital letter. And small w and small w is for the white color because it is recessive. So instead of taking dominant with its own capital letter, Morgan took the recessive capital letter. Okay, that is white is recessive. So he took W as a recessive and dominant he took capital W and capital W. So we will use these symbols also. Understood? Now see, what was the cross? White-eyed female. If the, white-eyed male. Now, this is the white-eyed male. Okay, small w is for the white. And red-eyed female. Capital W, capital W. Understood? Instead of taking capital R, we will use capital W and capital W. Why we are using capital W? Because we are taking white. We are testing on the white. Clear? So, our main focus is on the inheritance of the white trait, and that's why we are taking W. And we know very well that white color is recessive, so we will take W small for white and W capital for the red. Now, what is this? This is white-eyed male. And these are red-eyed female. Understood? Now, what the Morgan had done, Morgan crossed them together. Now, just make a cross for F1 generation. Okay. This is female and this is male. Okay. Now see, female and male. You cross them together. If we cross them, what we will be getting the result? Capital W, small w. Here also, capital W, small w, capital W and Y, capital W and Y. Now see the result. This is female. This is also female, male and male. Now see, capital W, small w. So, we will get red female. Count the number. 2 red female. Capital W, small w, capital W, small w. 1 red female, 2 red female. Capital W is representing the red one. Now look at this. Capital W with male. So, capital W is for red color. So, we will get 2 red male. Understood? So, this is the cross in case of F1 generation. Now, see children, we took male as white-eyed, but in the F1 generation, we got male with red-eyed. Okay, that is, in case of F1 generation, all the offsprings will be red-eyed. Now, go for the F2 generation. If we will go for F2 generation, take this 2. What to do? In case of F2 generation, small w and let me draw it bigger. Red male and red female. Okay. So, what we took? We took red and it's better to write down males like this only. Now, this is male and this is female. Cross them. Capital W, capital W, capital W and small capital W. Okay. Oh. Small w. Now see children, what we got? We got 2 females and 2 males. Now what about the females? Capital W, capital W, capital W and small w. It means we got 2 females red. Although one is carrier but doesn't matter. We got 2 red females. Now see, what about the males? This is capital W. Okay. And this is Y chromosome. So, this will be the male. So, what we got? We got 1 male red. And see this one. 1 male white. Now children, this is our main focus. That is repetition of the white color eye of male from parent generation to the F2 generation. Now see, what is the conclusion? If I draw the conclusion here, parent was male white-eyed. Male white-eyed. Understood? In case of F1 generation, what we saw? We saw 2 females red and males red. So we saw male and female red. But females were the carriers. Females were the carriers. And in case of F2 generation, I am erasing this children. In case of F2 generation, once again our main focus is on the white color. Once again we saw that male with white color eye. Okay. means from the grandfather, the white colored eye is transmitted to its grandson. Okay, if in case of human being, we take this example, then what we can say that from the grandparent, the chromosome or the genes or the inheritance has been transmitted from the grandparent to its grandson. Okay, and this is called as crisscross via female, via mother. So, from the grandparent, the disease or the trait has been transmitted to its daughter, and from the daughter, the disease or the inheritance or the trait has been transmitted to its son. This is called as the crisscross. So this type of sex-linked inheritance was experimented by the Morgan on the Drosophila. Okay. Now, we have one more example related with the melanogaster only. And the second time Morgan took, you can check in your book, second experiment is also given, and second time Morgan took white-eyed female and red-eyed male. What he took? He took white-eyed female and crossed them with red-eyed male. Now it is very easy to cross. Okay. Now simply I am doing it. White-eyed female. White-eyed female. Okay. White is recessive but represented by the small w. Red-eyed male. Capital W. And this is the symbol for the Y chromosome. Now if we'll cross them together, you just cross it. Okay. Draw female here. And capital I am drawing with this. Okay. And this is next one. Okay. Let it be like this only. Now what is the result? Capital W, small w. Capital W and small w. So what we got? We got two female with red color eye. Okay. And now come to this point. We got small w and this one small w with this one. We got two males with white eye. Once again children, see, from the female, the trait has been transmitted to the male. Understood? Now, go for F2 generation. This is F1 generation and this is parent generation. Now, once again see, in the parent we took white-eyed female, but in the F1 generation we got white-eyed male. Now, cross them together for F2 generation. Once again, what we have to take? We will take capital W, small w, this result, and this will be our female. Now, female will be red crossed with small w. It means crossed with white male. Again, make the checkerboard and see the result. Capital W, small w for female, for male, small w, and this one. Now, female is red and male is white. Once again, you cross them together. What is the result? Capital W, small w, small w, small w. Once again, capital W and Y chromosome, small w and white chromosome, Y chromosome. Okay, now see the result. Capital W and small w. It means female, one female with red, small and small. One female with white, capital W. One male, red colored eye, small w. One male with white colored eye. So this is the result in case of F2 generation, that we will get all the traits in equal number. That is, we will get white colored male, white colored female, red colored male and red colored female. Okay. So all the result, all the ratio of the progeny will be same. This is called as sex-linked inheritance. That is, the trait is depending upon the sex of the chromosome. Clear? And if the trait is transmitting from mother to its son and from father to his daughter, then that type of inheritance or that type of cross is called as the criss-cross inheritance. And in case of sex-linked inheritance, because sex-linked inheritance is presented or located on the X chromosome, so every time the trait is transmitted from male to the female and from female to the male. That is, from father to its daughter and from mother to its son. Clear? So this is all about sex-linked inheritance in case of human beings as well as in case of Drosophila. Now see children, in case of human beings, we know very well that there are some sex-linked diseases, that is color blindness, hemophilia, night blindness, and I told you this thing in our previous classes also. That is, if the mother is suffering from the color blindness, then the disease will get transmitted to the son. And if the father is suffering from any of the color blindness or hemophilia or night blindness, then the same disease will transmit it to its daughter. Okay. So Mendel did his experiment, reciprocal experiment, and he saw that there is no effect of any sexes on the transmission of the traits. But at last we saw that there is a sex-linked inheritance. And this was proved by the Morgan. He did his experiment on the Drosophila and gave the result. And what was his result? That is, the disease or the trait can be transmitted from the father to the daughter and from mother to the son. And the same is applicable in case of human beings also. And in case of human beings, we can see the diseases like color blindness, night blindness and hemophilia. Okay. So till here we have completed. Now our next topic will be non-disjunction genes and some of the sex chromosomal diseases. Okay, that is abnormality in the sex chromosomes. That we will do in the next class. Till then children, you revise all these things. Thank you.